It's Bruce Rowse here from the Sustainability Education Academy, and I'm honoured to interview Marlo Lyons. She's had multiple different careers, from being a TV reporter to being an entertainment attorney. So how's that? That's really different. To a HR executive, and then to a career coach. And she's author of the book Wanted a New Career, and the definitive playbook for transitioning to a new career or finding your dream job. In the Sustainability Career Group, which is a group that I run, a lot of members there, and a lot of people are coming to the group, and they're kind of perhaps a bit lost as well, because they want to work in sustainability, but they really don't know where. Yeah, so that sounds really good. And just look, having read the book, I can really strongly recommend it, and I'm sure that you have fantastic coaching service as well. You've transitioned 4 times, not just once. So how have you managed them?
I think that was the hardest part for me, was not knowing what I wanted to do. It caused a ton of emotions. I was definitely just swirling, trying to figure it out. And I remember being exactly how you described, lost, confused, trying to figure it out, asking a lot of people. Everybody's got a different opinion. And mostly they were all focusing on my skills. Well, you've done this and you've done this, and how about that? And, just because I could transfer my skills didn't mean I wanted to do those things. Like, they didn't feel right. And so figuring out what you want to do is really hard. It's probably the hardest work I think anybody will ever do, figuring out what you want. And so it took me a while to figure it out. And I realized that a lot of the swirl that I had in my head was fear, right? It's that fear of the unknown. If you've worked for a long time, then your skills and your maturity, they come into play as to what level job you're looking for. Just because you're starting in a new career, it doesn't mean that you have to start at the bottom. And I think that's what people forget. The number one thing, and people don't realize this, before you look for any job, the number one thing is you have to know what you want to do. You have to know what it is, and you have to be it. You can't just want to be it. You have to be it. If it's aligned with your values, that's the key, right? If it's aligned with your values, if your values are fulfilled, you'll be fulfilled. So that's why I always start with values and understanding what's important to people, and what is important to one person is not going to be the same thing as another person. So you have to understand what your values are in order to be able to translate them into skills, capabilities, and an understanding how to align your career to that. And once you do that, then you know what direction you're headed. And from there, that's, you find it and fulfillment happens.
What do you see as the most important thing that person needs to do in order to be successful in that transition?
Yeah, the number one thing, like I said, is it's definitely know what you want to do, right? Do the hard work on yourself to understand what that thing is. And then you do have to embody it. You do have to be it. You may only have 1% of your actual experience on your resume because it's relevant to the new career, not relevant to what you did before. So knowing what you want is critical.
How do you maintain that drive?
My drive really comes from actually not going. It actually comes from pausing and focusing on like the 3 most important things each day. The most important thing I think I said was the reflection and the pausing, because people don't stop during the day and they just keep going. Or even in their lives, they don't stop, they don't pause, they don't think about what they actually want. And like I said, working harder, working longer doesn't always lead to success. It just doesn't. And I think we're so conditioned, I think either in Australia and the US especially, we are so conditioned to just keep going, keep working, work hard, work long hours, scale. You need to scale your business. You need to do this. That's what success is. And that is not success for me, right? Success for me is having an impact. It is not working 18-hour days, and it never will be.
What do you think are the most valuable skills that anyone in almost any role, including sustainability roles, should have?
But whether it's sustainability or any other role, I think there are just 2 skills, period. Like just 2, the most important skills that every single person needs to have and they need to cultivate. And that's curiosity and listening. Because if you master those skills, be deeply, deeply curious, not just about what is being said, but also what's not being said, or maybe the emotion under what is being said. And if you know how to listen, then everything else will come in its, like it will come, it will all, fit into place.
What is the biggest mistake that you see people making when they're wanting to transition?
I think probably not knowing what they want to do is probably one of the biggest mistakes. And the other thing is saying they want to transition. I want to transition, or I want to be, and not just being, right? They have to actually be it. Nobody wants to hire you because you want to be something. They want to hire you because you can bring value to an organization. Take the word should out of your vocabulary. Don't be, I should be able to do this, or I should go and do this, or I should. It's not a should. What do you want? And if you want something, then what are the steps to go and get that? And then how do you work through that, through each step? And what support system do you need to work through each step? When people are looking for that new career and they're looking for that thing, I just want them to know that it is possible, right? A lot of people don't think it's possible. Like, it's not for me. I'll just compartmentalize over here. My career and my life will be great, but my career will be over here. But that's not fulfillment. That's not 100% fulfillment. Like, you can't compartmentalize your career. So I do want people to know that it is possible to be fulfilled in your career. So just don't give up. You gotta just know that you are exactly where you are meant to be in this moment. And whatever is not going right for you today, you got to believe the universe has your back, and that, you have the ability to change it, and that, whatever's not going right, everything's a learning experience, everything. And so I look at everything for me even as a learning experience.
Tell us about the second book that you're writing. What's it about?
The book is a playbook on how to obtain that, and how to be intentional about obtaining that. And so it's, just important for them not to just have a job, right? And that's what I was saying about me. I don't want just a job. I want to be fulfilled. And so this is their way of finding fulfillment. It comes out on November 29th. Yes, I'm very excited. It'll be on Amazon, Apple, Barnes & Noble. It'll be all over the place.
Thank you.
Thank you.